Red bird rustles. Hi everybody. So, we find ourselves in some odd surroundings tonight, but I have a reason. And like a better one than just the fact that I not failed, but I have neglected to reassemble my shooting space, even though we've got it cleaned up. But I have a reason for being here in my bathroom, where the floor is easiest to sweep up, and if you feel yourself getting a little itchy, you can hop right in the shower and rinse everything down the drain once we're done. Because I had a conversation with a friend about a week ago, and it made me realize that a lot of you are due for a trim. Not of your hair. But of some untruths and some bad ideas that you have been fed before. So, I just want to say I'm going to be combing through and teasing through your psyches tonight in the hopes that I can just tease out this idea that some of you have, that you are somehow the exception to the empathy that you extend. We're going to try to get rid of that tonight. But first I'm going to, let me, just so it doesn't pull, we don't want any of that kind of discomfort. I am going to wet down your psyche to make it a little bit easier to comb. Let me cover your eyes. The idea for this video came about because I was talking to a friend that I'm going to use as an example. Let me switch. Now this friend, whenever anything goes wrong, he's usually the first person to jump in line and be like, anything I can do, what can I do? Even if it's just hearing you out, you can vent to me, is there anything I can bring you? What can I do? He is the first person willing to hear out your side of the story, or, just be someone to vent to. And I had to ask him a question. Nope. The question itself is not important. The answer to the question, however, got delayed by a bad day. He, in fact, told me, he said, I'm having a rough day. I'll get back to you at a lunch break. And at his lunch break, he actually texted me again. And instead of answering me, and it is not unlike him to be this evocative, but it was unlike him to be this negative. He actually texted me around lunchtime and was like, and there are the sprinkles on the top of today's shit Sunday. And then he told me what time he got off and what time I could expect a response and this and that. And I was like, okay, man, take your time. I'm sorry you're having a bad day, Feel free to tell me about it. And when he finally did answer me, and it wasn't at any of the times he said he was going to. He was late. So when he finally got back to me with the answer to my question, because he's a stand-up guy, I was like, what can I do? Stay on the phone with me and tell me what happened. And he did, and that's not important. Like, that's not the important part of this story. The important part of the story is it was bad. And, I held his hand as best I could. And when he eventually, when we eventually parted our ways, like, I noted that I would probably, I made a note to self to check in with him later, and then I went about my evening. And I woke up the next morning to a text from him that said, "Sorry to bring the mood down." And I was like, I don't understand. Because he didn't. I thought we had a very, affirming conversation. I certainly felt affirmed in our friendship, and like I had helped him out a little bit. And like I had somebody to call later, And he said, he was like, I just don't want to burden you with it. Like, I'm really grateful that you could do it for me, but, that doesn't mean that, like, anytime, it doesn't mean that I don't feel bad. And I was like, are you not the first person? Are you not the first person? Sorry to bump you. Are you not the first person to check in with any of us? Come on. And he was like, yeah, but when I have to do it, I feel weak. And I feel guilty. And I feel like a burden. And, I'm not a very nice person. I'm a kind person. I'm not a nice person. I believe that social niceties, at best, they leave people abused. And at worst, they straight up get people fucking killed if you don't fit into what is considered nice and polite and normal. So, like, this may not have been the time to have this conversation with him, but, like, I was sure to pass on two things, and I'm going to try to, like, communicate them now to you fellas, because, like, I just want you to feel as taken care of as I do in this community, because, like, you're not. As exceptional as all of you are in whatever ways, like, I'm exceptional in ways. I'm a very good cook. I'm a very decent technical singer. Obviously, I'm a good editor. I'm good at communicating ideas and how to streamline them for downloading into other people's brains, for all that this story has taken me forever to tell. I'm a piss poor housekeeper. I'm terrible hausfrau. What else am I bad at? I'm bad at math. I have no sense of direction. You know what I mean? Like, in all of the ways that I am exceptional. I am not the exception to the empathy that I put out into the world. You know, on my days when I know I have to have my house clean because things are gross and I have 2 other people that live with me and depend on me to be able to find all of their things in our heap, you know. Sorry, the dog barked. I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah. Out of all the ways that I'm exceptional and not, like, I'm still not the exception to the empathy that I extend to all of you. You know what I mean? Like, if it's true for all of you that on days that you just can't get it together, you deserve the break, then it's true of me too. And I want you to turn that around in your minds. Right? And that is what I'm cutting loose today to hopefully make it easier for you to do. If it's true for me, it's true for you. You are not the exception to the empathy you extend. It's broadly applicable too. You know, it's not just about what you're good at, what you're bad at. It applies, you know, it's the same where, you know, if you fight fat phobia, right? If you say, you know, my fat friends are beautiful, and they, like, even aside from that, they don't have to be. They're competent, and, you know, health looks different on other people. And if you're combating all of the ways in which fat phobia affects people, but then you turn around and you're like, I ate a chip before bed and I gained a pound. Like, that you may hold yourself to your own beauty standard, but you should examine it. And you should also recognize that, like, you are cute and competent and capable and healthy exactly how you are. The same as, like, I mentioned in another video, people getting on big noses or wide noses or differently shaped noses. Like, your nose is beautiful. Everyone else's nose is beautiful. Your nose is beautiful. And my nose is beautiful, even if I don't like that it spreads out when I smile. You know, stuff like that. It's so cute to other people, and that's allowed. I had a way better... This is the second time I'm trying to film this video, and it gets away from me every time because I don't know what to leave in and what to leave out of the story. I just want the good example of my friend is not weak. He does not have to feel guilty. He is not anyone's burden. I don't have to offer to help him out. And he didn't bring my mood down. I felt affirmed in our friendship. I knew that I had someone there that I could depend on and was depending on me for a check-in later, you know. I know I get around, but, like, I don't have that many friends. And it feels good to have somebody, not to pay back, but just to know that someone is, like, comforted by my presence, you know what I mean? Like, I don't trust the people that reach out to you because they don't have to. And the slightly uncomfortable second thing I have to inform people of today is that you don't have quite the effect that you think you do on people, and, like, it's a double-edged sword, admitting that one. Because I want to think I'm having a good effect, but I know I'm going to, like, well, right now I have scissors and a comb, but what I really need is a hammer to take to your heads to, like, really nail it in there. That you're not the exception to the empathy that you extend. You deserve it too. You don't have to earn it. You just have it. But here's the other thing. There's kind of, and like I'm not just talking about like cluster B shit. There's an inherent narcissism, right? To certain comorbidities, certain things that give you also depression and anxiety. I would call the narcissism itself is a comorbidity. It's a symptom where, like, you start thinking that people think of you more than they do, but for some reason it's always negative. Like, oh my, they stopped answering me, they hate me, they didn't laugh at my joke, they hate me, I burdened them with my thing and now I brought the mood down, whatever. But like, you really don't have that great of an effect. Like I said, I left that conversation feeling affirmed in our friendship, and like I would have to check in with him later. And I just went about my evening and assumed he did the same. He has cats, he has a wife. It was a long day at work. Oops. Like, I don't know. My therapist, one of the things that we fought about the most, always used to say that you should stop saying sorry when you mean thank you. And like, I had it in my head where it was like, no, you don't, it was the, I can't remember her name right now. She's an actress, but the one that's like, I have to make up for the fact that it's me. I always thought I had to apologize to people. And saying thank you made me sound entitled, when really it doesn't. Like, thank people for their time. Thank people for their attention. Thank people for their patience, right? Don't say sorry I'm late. Say thank you for waiting for me. Don't say sorry I told you about my day. Say thank you for hearing me out. And you remember I said earlier, flip it around, where it's not just if it's true of me, it's true of you. If it's true of you, it's true for me. Or, I don't remember how I said it, but like, you have to reframe how you think of yourself. You are not the exception to the empathy you extend. What you extend to others is also true of you. You also deserve it. You don't have to earn it. And also, once you stop apologizing for yourself, once you start thinking of yourself as someone who can approach others with gratitude, that's the real trick. You stop you don't stop worrying about how much space you're taking up, but you allow yourself more space, and you allow yourself more grace, and believe it or not, it keeps it easy to extend it to others. I don't really have a snappy sign off for this one. It's tough. Choosing recovery is tough. And whatever leg up I can offer you fellas to get there yourselves, I hope it helps. That's really all I want. So, all that being said, however long this ends up being, because, excuse me, I got rambly, but I do. I wish you good luck with figuring yourself out. I wish you fun adventures once you stop apologizing for yourself and accept some empathy. And I wish you sweet sleep with hearts and kisses and respect.